It is an honor to be here, and I have 4 grandchildren now since that. So I have, and one on the way. So I'm getting younger, I think is right. But well, it's an honor to always be here and to be a part of this. I appreciate Mark and what he does as far as government relations outside of what he does at the chamber. And you know, and you live in a great county, and it's all because of you and your active participation in everything that goes on in this county. I do want to do this so I don't forget. You've got a card on your table. It has my cell number on there. So feel free if you have a problem, you hear a rumor, you want to talk about something, that you just give me a call personally, or no problem at all. And on the back, it's got a QR code. We'd love for you to take the survey that's on the back for age-friendly county. Susan Shaw, which is in here, had a lot to do with several others of you that are here about trying to make sure that we're age-friendly. And those were goals that we knew we already had reached some of, but we probably want to do some more to take care of our seniors. You know, seniors, I think by the year 2045, there'll be more people living in the country over 65 than they are under 18. And so, and we know seniors are very positive. Galen, of course, with Wilson Rides here. So we want to take care of them. And so just wanted to pass that along to you. As well as my staff, which Sarah Davenport's here, along with Susan, helped set all this up. And then I will give a disclaimer for this presentation. Taryn, will you stand up, please? Give Taryn a round of applause. Her deal, you sit down now. Her deal was, she said that my talk was boring and that we needed to add some laughter. So if you like it, you can give me the credit. If you don't like it, blame Taryn. So anyway, but we start out, and I'm gonna go really quick so we can have questions at the end, because I probably got some questions that you want to ask. But you do live in a great county. When we talk about being the best of all 95 counties, you know, I got called on this not too long ago after I did it my channel 2. They called and they said, you said you're number 1 in location, education. Where do you get that ranking at? And I said, well, you know, we believe we're number 1 in location. And so maybe I should put the word believe up there, but we're in the middle of the country. And so we do get a lot of logistic companies, but a lot of people come here and want to be here. Education, we do. And I'll tell you in a minute why we think we're number 1 there. Public safety and agriculture. Agriculture, really, we have more century farms than any other county in the state of Tennessee. So we do believe we're good there. We are the 2nd healthiest by some ranking, 2nd wealthiest, and 2nd in quality of life, and 2nd in economic development. So as you look.
Hey everybody, Governor Bill Lee here. As you gather for Wilson County's annual State of the County address, I want to take a moment to recognize your work to ensure Tennessee remains the best state in the nation to work and live and raise a family. Here in Tennessee, we're committed to delivering opportunity and security and freedom for all people. And we couldn't do this without the support of our local partners all across the volunteer state. Wilson County plays an important role in the Middle Tennessee region, and we're grateful for the many ways that this community drives our economy, spurs job creation, strengthens Tennessee families, and so much more. Maria and I pray God's richest blessings over Wilson County in the years ahead, and we thank you for your service.
So I think it is important to know that we are recognized as a state, as a leader in the state in many different categories. And, you know, even at the governor's level, they know that education, we told you, was number 1. And, you know, it's the number 1 reason people move here. When you look, we built 12 schools in the last 12 years. And so when we get these next 2 finished with LaGuardia, which you've heard a lot about in the news lately, I'll be glad to explain some of that towards the end, as well as Central Pike, which will be coming out of the ground next year. LaGuardia will open on time on August the 1st this year, but that's a good accomplishment for our county commissioners that they've seen an effort to make sure we do that, and we'll hopefully have no portables at that time. Reward schools, again, academically, we're good. You can see all reward schools there, many of them in this area down here in Mount Juliet. And we've had the Superintendent of the Year 3 out of the last 9 years. And so across the state of Tennessee, we think that's very important. Cumberland University, which is really a good plus for us when you think about the amount. 60 counties are represented there, 49 countries, 38 states, but the amount of money that they bring back in, and every county doesn't have a state university.
Wilson County, we are a powerful educational engine, but we all have a hand in helping to keep that strong momentum moving down the tracks, including you. We have numerous schools, including right here at the elementary level, that are annually named reward schools by the state. And our middle schools do an amazing job of not only preparing students for high school, but also career readiness and post-secondary exploration. And when our students get to high school, they go on to graduate. Wilson County Schools always well above the state average when it comes to graduation rates. And over $50 million in scholarship money, it's a pretty common figure that's awarded annually to our seniors each year. And with well over 20,000 students, we are growing. In fact, new schools are being built as we speak. Why? Because people want to be here. They want to raise their families here, and they want to send their children to an incredible public school system.
But hey, you don't have to take my word for it. Do you need more? Well, how about I send it over to one of our award-winning principals to help reinforce this message?
When it comes to education, who wouldn't want to be a part of the vision, excellence in all we do? As the principal of Stoner Creek Elementary, I am honored to lead in Wilson County. I am happy to say that no matter where anyone lands on the grid, their children will be attending top-notch performing schools, behaviorally, academically, socially, and emotionally. Students come first in Wilson County. Wilson County Schools is truly the place to be when it comes to education.
So let's keep moving. Nothing is slowing us down in our daily goal to help students be as successful as possible. From here to anywhere, we are Wilson County Schools. I'm Bart Barker for Wilson County Schools. Thank you all so much.
Can you hear in the back? Yes. Sort of, okay. Public safety, we just added on addition to the jail, double the size of the jail. Not what you want to do, but it's what you have to do when you're growing. I think our numbers are now at 171,000 people in the county. One thing that was added here that you may or may not know, they did a relocation of 911. So the 911 call center now, which used to be down on West Main, you would transfer every call. Now they have WEMA sitting across from it and the sheriff's department. So when that call comes in, at least those two get those calls without having to transfer. So that is a big deal. We hope at some point in time we'll add Lebanon PD and Mount Juliet PD in there, which means there'll be no transferring, which is really, consolidation would be really great for everybody. Of course, the two stations that you well know of are already built here in Mount Juliet with Central Pike and the one over on next to the senior center. Of course, LaGuardia, we're looking for a $6 million grant. That's money that was left over from the tornado that came through in 2020. So $6 million was allotted to our county, but we had to find a way to spend it to be able to get it. So we're going to redo the station over at LaGuardia, which will means we'll put more emergency equipment there. So when we have an issue in the west end of the county, they won't have to come from Main Street on Oak Street to bring you emergency equipment. It'll be on that side, kind of in the middle of the county. And that was an issue the last time, if you remember, where the tornado came, it kind of cut off some of the resources that we needed in this area here. So we think this is going to be a good addition for us as well. We are building a judicial center behind the jail that is on its way if you're ever by there. It's an $84 million project they approved, but that'll put all the courts under one roof, which would be a great addition. Take the old church that where the courts are today and make that a one-stop shop for our builders so that if they want to build something, they can go there and get everything they need. So this would be a win-win on both sides. So 3 hot topics I think that we hear y'all talk about a lot: transportation, jobs, and quality of life. And when you talk about roads, you know, we have more state miles here. We're the 5th largest in the state mile lane. It's 637 miles. That only means what to you? Well, when it snows, TDOT can get to small counties like Smith County and DeKalb County pretty easy because they don't have many miles. But when it comes to your county, some of those state roads don't get done. And if it snows again the next night, they have to start all over again. So there's a lot there. But also when you ask us to say, hey, can you widen I-40? Can you widen South Mount Juliet Road and all of those? They already are spending quite a bit of money here, so we don't get as much done as quick as you'd like to see us get done. There's 1,700 miles of county road, and you can see the commute times we've noticed already are definitely going to just increase over time. So we thought the state roads and the city roads have been done. There are several of those projects that are underway. I'll get this question a lot probably today. What about West Elementary? Will that project be done before school starts? And it will be done. The turning lane going in will be done. The decel lane will be worked on after school is going on. But part of that project, it definitely in the front of the school will be completed. We talked to Region 3 Director today just to double check that, because we heard that at the school board meeting the other night, but we wanted to make sure that that is the correct answer. And so that is the correct answer there. You'll see them working back towards Terrence Lane a little bit as the first month of school starts to finish that decel lane there, but that is going to be done. There's several other projects we're going, but what we knew was we've built WEMA stations, we've built jails, we've built schools, we've built the judicial center, but we haven't really done a whole lot with roads. And so we had a company called Collier come in and survey all the county roads, not city, not state, but county roads. And they give us a top list of 50 roads that need to be improved. To get those roads improved, though, the issue is, how do I fund it? Because right now I'm spending every dollar you're giving me. So probably as we look towards the future, you may see a referendum out there for $25 on the wheel tax. That'll bring in about $3.75 million. And we would send that money straight to roads. We could do 50, which is about $7 million, and let them start addressing these road needs. When we talk about what the cost of roads are, just to pave a mile, that's not to build a road, that's just to pave the top of it, is $1 million. So you can see that that money doesn't go far, but we need to make a effort right now to start approving your county roads, and so we're going to do that. You have heard a little bit about the STAR new service there, and that service really in a short version was going to be where they added back maybe a Friday night train there and maybe a Saturday, couple of trains on Saturday. Also do some micro transit work there at each of the stations, so if people wanted to come out, they could go and click and get a van to come and take them wherever they wanted to go. So several things that are going to happen with that. It costs money as well, as you can imagine. Just the infrastructure part's about $10 million. And the RTA has that money. The money they don't have is the day-to-day service money. So to get that money, you're looking at about $860,000 from the county, $860,000 from Mount Juliet, and $860,000 from Lebanon. We don't know that everybody will want to join in. And of course, as you can see on the bottom, Davidson County would have to put in about $1.8 million as well. But he's willing to do that to get those more frequent trips that are here. So as we talk about doing that part, that could be a part of that referendum. So part of that money goes towards roads, and the other part goes to take care of all three monies that are issued, that are needed to improve the train. But we're hoping to work in that area.
Hey Sarah, we should call Mayor Hutto and remind him that the City of Lebanon produces more sales taxes than any city in Wilson County.
You're right, we should. He told me to call him before the state of the county.
Okay, let's call him, because he needs to be reminded that we're working hard every day to increase his sales tax base.
You're right.
12 seconds later.
Hey Mayor Hutto, I thought you might be in a meeting. I'm glad I caught you otherwise. I'm here with Sarah Haston, and we want to give you an update on the sales taxes in Lebanon and what we're doing to increase them every day. The last newly constructed sit-down restaurant built in Lebanon was way back in 2012, so we are proud to have recruited Aubrey's to Lebanon. Adding to the redevelopment of West Main Street, we have another Starbucks opening, marking their third location in Lebanon. The redevelopment of the old Kmart building has also been very important. The variety of new soft goods available in this newly redeveloped center has been an excellent source of new sales tax for Lebanon and Wilson County, while providing our community with the convenience of shopping close to home.
The additional places to grab a quick bite are thriving. In fact, Firehouse Subs reported the top earnings in their region, showing that they are serving a need. Also, they have partnered with our Lebanon Fire Department, which we appreciate any business that contributes back to our community.
It's no secret that In-N-Out has extended their footprint to Tennessee, and we are proud to welcome them to Lebanon. The city has worked hard to ensure South Hartman Drive develops with high standards, character, and the right users as well. This new Del Webb community is a piece of that, and in part possible with the City of Lebanon Utility Department running sewer and water lines to make the development happen. And Randall, you know how important it is when the City of Lebanon runs a sewer line. Just think about that super speedway out there.
Because Because economic development has been a strong focus of Mayor Rick Bell, and we have had the support of City Council, we have been able to build new roads. This has led to the recruitment of Sam's Club and Target.
Lebanon is a unique city filled with charm, a rich history, and characteristics like no other. Part of our beauty includes the historic downtown square that is continuing to grow year after year. We have heard from our residents that they want more restaurants and more choices. Thanks to our local entrepreneurs, we were able to make that happen.
And did you know that there are now Airbnbs here on the Lebanon Square? We have new condos here too.
And of course, we've added additional parking and continue to think of new ways to support local businesses. The new sports complex is coming along well. We have 5 new soccer fields, and 2 of them are turf. Randall, I know you probably have a meeting to go to, so thanks for taking some time to listen to our update about all the exciting things that are happening in Lebanon. See you later.
Have a good one.
I think they had more fun doing it than I did the show, but as we talk about employment, economic development second, I know Corey Johns came in a little late today, but a large part of taking care of us on that. Last year, Wilson County was #1 in the state with most jobs landed, committed at 1,918, and #1 in landing projects along with Shelby County. So they have done a tremendous job of that, and here are the people, of course, that we feel like that spends a lot of time in recruiting for the whole county. As I keep getting interrupted.
Well, we all know there's so much growth going on in Wilson County, everything from restaurants to fast food places, senior living, and schools. So we're going to start off on the east side of the county, and I can't wait to show you what's going on. Let's go. We've all seen new construction popping up everywhere. Have you been down Double Log Cabin Road and saw a massive construction site? Well, that's where I'm at, our first stop, a new school, Lagardo Elementary, the future home of the captains. About 650 students will go here. It's slated to open for the new school year in August. I'm at the corner of Hartman Drive and Leeville Pike, and they're building a new Wawa. The ultimate convenience store for food, drink, and fuel is going up in this now empty field. So we're here on South Hartman Drive where they're getting a new In-N-Out burger, and they're also getting a new location in Mount Juliet on Beckwith Road. And just down the street from the In-N-Out burger, there's going to be a new Sam's Club on Willard Hagen Drive. You've probably caught a glimpse of it from I-40 near the South Hartman exit. Maybe you've seen this massive construction site on South Hartman. That's going to be Del Webb. They're introducing Barton Village, a 55-plus active adult community. The community will feature shopping, medical facilities, and dining, including the Goat and Jonathan's. Plus, they'll have resort-style indoor and outdoor pools, pickleball courts, and an outdoor amphitheater. Now we're cruising behind the jail. If you've been this way, you've seen the construction. This is the future home of a new multi-level judicial center. Right now I'm driving down West Main Street. We've got a Taco Bell over here on the right, and if you keep going, you'll see this empty building. But it won't be empty for long. Aubrey's restaurant will soon open. They are famous for their comfort food, things like buttermilk fried chicken and catfish. We're here on Adams Lane in Mount Juliet, and construction is still going on the new rooms to go. Over on Providence Parkway in Central Pike, they're building a mixed-use development that's going to include a hotel, retail, and assisted living. Now we're over here on Mount Juliet Road where they're building a new Sprouts Farmers Market. They're known for their fresh produce. This area off of North Mount Juliet Road near Publix is a foodie's dream. It's going to be the home to several restaurants, including Chipotle, Waffle House, Kiki's Breakfast Cafe, and Capaldo, which is Korean fried chicken. Yum. Off Golden Bear Gateway and Legacy Point Boulevard, they're building a Whataburger, a Wash and Roll, and a Texas Roadhouse, plus Dunkin' Donuts. Right now, I'm on Highway 109 and Callis Road, and for all you foodies, they're gonna have a food truck barn that's gonna feature up to 30 food trucks. And just down the street from the food truck barn, they're building a new super Walmart. And another school has broken ground, Central Pike Elementary School between Leeville Road and Posey Hill Road, and that will open in about 18 to 24 months. So that's just a handful of the exciting projects going on in Wilson County. Mayor Hutto, back to you.
So Christy's in the back there. You can give her a round of applause for being my actor. You know, it's amazing, and Mark, again, as I talked about, helped me out. He sends me a list every month of the new businesses just in Mount Juliet, and we send him a postcard thanking him for coming, but it's a world of businesses that are coming here a month after month. You look at unemployment, we're really the second lowest in the state. I know it's tied and we're fifth because of our alphabet letter of the W, but as far as employment goes, it's good. We still have the issue, though, about 50,000 people leave here every day and go to another county to work in. And so that's why Corey and other ones still try to recruit good jobs, because a lot of times people will say to me, I can't believe you got another company coming. We can't find workers for what we've got right now. But we want to make sure that we recruit higher paying jobs so that our people can get off the road, spend more time at home, more time with their family, less traffic for us. And so we're looking for those 49,000 folks to be able to stay at home. 31,000 actually come here to work every day, and that's a win for you because they come, they purchase things, you get the sales tax off, and they go home.
Hey, Mayor Hutto, we heard you were doing the State of the County.
And we thought it would be a great time to tell you all that's happening in Mount Juliet. We've got to start with Costco. They've called Mount Juliet home for almost a year, making Mount Juliet a destination spot.
And if that didn't make everyone happy, the announcement of Sprouts surely did.
And BJ's Wholesale in Providence, they've got amazing gas prices. They're shaking and baking, baby.
Shake and then bake. Shake and bake.
It's no wonder that every year we're breaking sales tax records.
And every sales tax dollar the city receives, an equal dollar goes to Wilson County Schools.
Speaking of, Mount Juliet is so proud of the rebuilding of Stoner Creek Elementary and West Wilson Middle School. This provides a real beacon of hope after the March 2020 tornado.
So what else do we have besides that?
Texas Roadhouse is going in at Legacy Point.
In-N-Out will be across the street from that.
And hailing from Canada themselves, the first in Tennessee. No big deal, it's Tim Hortons.
Obvious next stop, Mount Juliet, Tennessee.
Salvo's adding to the great pizza lineup in Mount Juliet.
Oh, and BJ's Hot Chicken. So that's a lot to be excited for.
Oh, we've got plenty more. I'm not done. We also have Slick City, recently approved by the Planning Commission with 40,000 square feet of indoor slide and air court park.
Andy's Frozen Custard. I'm ready for that concrete plant.
Dutch Bros? Is it Dutch Bros or Dutch Brothers?
I'm not sure. Their sign says Dutch Bros. Nicoletto's, and they have the best chicken parm sandwich. The Emmy Rod Bakery, exclusive sourdough.
And another Chipotle.
Again, that is a lot to be excited for.
Jennifer, still not done yet. City related, we have a new 45,000 square foot headquarters for our new police department ready this fall.
A 16,000 square foot new fire station on Old Lebanon Dirt Road to further improve response times.
And Veterans Park by the clock tower.
Oh, and a potential new aquatic center? Mayor, outside of that, not much happening here in Mount Juliet.
Well, let's be honest, the whole county, Wilson County, Lebanon, Watertown, all so much to be thankful for. We're blessed to be here, and especially blessed to have the leadership of you, Mayor Randall Hutto.
What'd you bring this for?
It's Salvo's Pizza, new to Mount Juliet.
Oh, we forgot about honey baked ham and Campionis.
Yeah, well, Mayor said we only had 2 minutes, so tough luck.
Of course, Justin's back here. I'm not sure if Jennifer's here or not, but you can give them a round of applause. They'll have a good time doing that. So there is a lot going on, as you can tell, and it's hard to cover it all. We talked about age-friendly community. We talk about the opioid funds that's out there. That comes back up here in August. Susan and Emma are part of that. But if you know a need to apply for some of those grant funds, please contact our office there. Of course, having Vanderbilt Hospital is a big deal in our county. Again, just the name of that. And just a quick little review. Some of that came out about the federal funds that were being discontinued. And with that, they've made adjustments to their budget. They're solid, not going to have any type of loss of being able to take care of people in our county. And so we're happy to have them and all that they do. Of course, the new TriStar ER that's on the highway over there, and of course the patient centers there. And then today we had a little groundbreaking there, or not a groundbreaking, but a talk about, I think they're applying for a certificate of need to put another freestanding ER right there on South Hartman again to take care of the citizens here. A rehabilitation hospital that Lebanon is going to have over there by the Dale Webb area. So a lot in the healthcare industry, and we think that is important for our citizens as far as quality of life. You know about the Speedway and what happens there. The Tennessee State Fair, of course, is around the corner, and we're excited about that.
I mean, I think what I saw growing up, I mean, we would go watch, my dad's a magician. We would go watch my dad do magic at the Wilson County Fair, which county fairs are great. If you never, they're still going around. I don't think the government knows about them, but I mean, we ride these rides that were on the interstate an hour ago. So we would go watch my dad. So my dad would do magic. Right next to him, they had a donkey jumping off a high dive into a pool. So pretty hard to keep everybody's attention. When my dad is like, "Is this your card?" And everybody's like, "This donkey's about to jump off this high dive." That's something you don't think you want to see until it's up there. And I use the word jump very loosely. These donkeys are falling off this high dive.
Gotta love Nate. I hope you've had a chance to watch him some more. How are finances in the county? Second wealthiest county. You continue to see here, this is the growth of fund balance, and that's the money that we've saved over time and put back for a rainy day. Those are important. Those are definitely important when we go to borrow money. It makes our bond rating better. Growth of our tax base has grown 377% since 2000, which is just unreal. Sales tax growth, you continue to see every month, year after year, it just continues to grow, and there's the numbers there. And again, largely because of what you do, but that's living off of somebody else's money, really. So the growth of sales tax has really been tremendous. You'll hear a reappraisal coming up next year. I tell this story all the time. Reappraisal is a good thing for you, unless the county decides to raise taxes. If they don't raise taxes, then that reappraisal just means you go to bed one night and your house gains about $30,000 or $40,000 worth of equity because they reappraise your place because everybody wants to move here. So the value of your home goes up and you didn't do anything for it. So reappraisal is good for us. There's some counties in the state that it goes down, and that is a negative. But for you right now, it's good. The last time we had this done was 5 years ago. The tax rate was $251, and they lowered it to $190. Not for sure what it will go down to this time, but it will be a good thing. We tried to live within our means, and we've only raised your taxes twice in 16 years, and we do our best to do that. There's going to be a time that we'll have to raise it, so don't fuss at me or kick me out of office for that. But we've done good, and our commission has really done well of trying to manage their money. There is a tax freeze now for seniors. Used to, that rate was $50,000. The commission raised that or voted to raise that, and so it will be up. It will apply for next tax year, okay? So it won't be this tax year, but you know people that make $60,000 or less and want to get their taxes frozen, then they can come to the trustee's office and make that happen. They have to reapply each year, but that is a positive.
Thank you, Mayor Hutto. Those of us who are members of the Watertown and East Wilson County Chamber of Commerce are very excited about some things that are happening here in town now and some things that are going to happen in the near future. This, of course, is our town square. From the coffee shop to the library to the barber shop, this is the cultural center of our vibrant little community. Every single shop is now occupied. There's one empty building. It belongs to the city, and city officials say that in the coming year, they have planned to completely revamp that building. This is one of those projects that I was telling you about that's happening right now, a long overdue rehabilitation of our sewer and water systems. As you can imagine, that takes a great deal of digging, and once they finish with the digging, a big paving project is on the horizon. We love our trains here in Watertown. Nothing more exciting than train day when thousands of people come to Watertown courtesy of the Tennessee Central Railway Museum. Now that's what's happening now, but on the horizon, we're preparing for a day when old number 576 rolls in here. It's a refurbished steam locomotive. Now, in order for that train to go back to Nashville, they need a giant turntable. We just got a $1.6 million grant here to do that, part of a $2.4 million railway infrastructure project. So as you can tell, there's a lot going on in our vibrant little community. If you've never been to Watertown, please come to visit. Come for our drive-in movie. Come to see our cute shops and boutiques in the downtown area. Come for our music festivals and the big yard sale that we have twice a year. And come to meet some of the friendliest people you'll ever encounter. Mayor Hutto, back to you.
So Watertown does have a good little place to go if you have a chance to get up there. Infrastructure wise, we've added, you can see here of all the different expansions and things that's been done over the past few years there. So there's a tremendous amount of money been spent there. We gave some money to DTC to expand broadband off of some federal money that was given to us. We also got about 12 million to give to the different water districts to expand water lines across the way as well.
See, 9/11 happens. If you're old enough, you remember when 9/11 happened, the whole country got very scared that there's going to be more attacks. Well, we did as well in Wilson County. We figured they just went to New York, obvious next stop, Mount Juliet, Tennessee. And they are going to poison our town's water. So they got all of us water meter readers to guard the water tanks. I really did this. I stood just in a dark field alone, waiting for the Taliban to show up. No weapons, no training.
Growth, cost of living, and housing will wrap up the talk today. Just in talking about growth, 19th largest county, 9th in population. Of course, 27th fastest growing county in the country. Lebanon, 12th fastest growing city in the country. From 2020 to 2024, Wilson County was the fastest growing county in the state of Tennessee. But you still look that we still have, if you see this chart on my left here, we still have less population per square mile than the other counties around us, Williamson, Rutherford, Montgomery, Sumner. So we still have room to go. We want to do our best to control that, but we still have some availability there. Land coverage wise, of course, acreage of farmland is going away. And so the county commission does their best to try to control that area. Cost of living, of course, we're the second wealthiest, as we said, so about $105,000 on the median family income. When you talk about growth and you look at this chart, 60% of the growth over the past several years has come out of the city of Lebanon. And so as we try to contain growth, 24% here in Lebanon, Mount Juliet, 15% in the county. Residential home values, as we talked about, continue to rise, 208% since 2000. And affordability, people talk about affordable homes. There's only 3 counties in the state of Tennessee that have affordable homes, just because this region is the hottest region in the country, and so people are moving here. And so that affordable housing deal really is that you spend more than 30% of your income towards your mortgage payment. There are plenty of ways to get involved, and I know we got Jamie and others in here today, I think, just to talk about Volunteer Network. And I just want to scan through these. Drug-Free Wilco, if you have an interest in wanting to be a part of that. Compassionate Hands, Everyone's Wilson. They have Rehab 23 here that started in Mount Juliet. Wilson Rise, Galen is here. Specialty license plate. If you don't have a specialty license plate, please consider that the next time you go, because those dollars actually go to help Galen support the senior rides. Governor Volunteer Stars Award. If you know somebody is doing something really good in the county that needs to be awarded, please contact Sarah in our office. She takes care of all of that, and she loves to find people to do. We got Wilson Works. Corey is a part of that and has a new director in that one. Expungement Clinic is there, and of course, Read to Succeed. So that's a whole lot. I gave you a lot. I wanted to be sure I got out on time, so I'm doing good on time, Mark. And I'll take questions at the end, but I will say this. This is a side here of, as we think about what we can do. This is the site of Arlington Cemetery, and back in 1963, John F. Kennedy was here, and he looked out over the cemetery and said, you know, I can come back here and spend the rest of my life. And little did he know, less than 2 weeks later, he would do that under an eternal flame. And I say that to say that, you know, we don't know how much time that we really have left in this world, but we can make a difference. And, you know, probably the most important thing you're going to do today is love your family. You know, you got a lot to talk about with your business and how to get ahead, but that's what really is going to matter at the end of the day. And so I encourage you to make sure that you have your priorities headed towards those, because I'll leave this office one day and there'll be somebody else better take over and they won't even know I've been here. But the people that I count on are the people that I go home to. And so I challenge you to think about that as you live every day of your life. And I know you're here to make a difference, and you have made a difference in our county. I just happen to be at the right place at the right time because there are a lot of positive things that are here. Let me answer any questions you got for me. Anybody? Nobody's going to ask you about the LaGuardia school system. Okay. Do I take it you don't like Nate or you don't like Justin? Maybe you don't like Justin. Nate's a good one, but I can get it to you. If you'll see Sarah at the end, we'll get it to you. And Christy's having it, is putting it on TV, so it'll be on our channel, Wilson County Television as well. Okay, other questions? Yes? Any word on the Trader Joe's? Trader Joe's. Mark Hinsley, I'm going to give that one to you. It's so easy. Tough question, tough crowd. I'm just glad I'm taller than Justin. You can only get one question a day. I'm sorry now. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sports complex that might have the pool, might not have a pool. Like, what's the update? It was like hot and heavy, and then it went kind of quiet.
Justin, I'm going to refer that to you. I got it. But I got resources. You're my resource. Can you help her on that at all? Because I really don't know that one. The sports complex with the pools?
In the works.
In the works. It's like a check in the mail. Mark? I think we're going to put that on the referendum and let the voters decide whether they want to approve a bond large enough to pay the debt service. What's going to take to borrow to help the water system. So I would expect very much until the next. I don't think we one of those in all years, somebody else might know, might be the next general election, it'll be on down the road. Okay. And they would have a chance, you know, in May of this coming year, the primary time, or in August or in November. So they could pick any of those three. If they did it opposite of that, they'd have to pay $20,000 or $30,000 to do it. So a lot of times they don't do it to that. And I saw two other hands, and I'm going to come to you. Let me tell you two things that maybe go along that line. We're still working to build a multi-sports complex there in the middle of the county, so it would patronize both cities of Lebanon and Mount Juliet. That one would be an all-sports facility that would kind of have 5 square fields you could play anything on, from World Series baseball to football or whatever, and then a playground in the middle for the kids that come, and then it'd have 6 basketball courts that we would have tennis inside, volleyball, basketball, of course, tumbling, wrestling, gymnastics, and then 2 sheets of ice on it. Now, that goal is to make that, while we're not partnering with cities, is to make that just a tourism destination for tournament play only, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But what it would do to give back to our citizens, we're going to not run it ourselves. We'll have a company run it. But what they'll do to offer to our citizens is on Monday night, we'll have senior games, because we really have nowhere for seniors to play. So they'll offer that service, hopefully free of charge. Tuesday night would be for co-eds, because we don't have a lot for our co-eds to do here either. And then on Wednesday night will be special needs. So we're working on that, where we are in that. We've seen the facility we like in Muscle Shoals that we'd like to copy. We found a company that has some land beside them. We're trying to make a presentation to them to see if they will give us that land, maybe for the naming rights of it, or if not, they have some land that a lot of different things could happen on if this happens. And so we see it as a win for both of us, but that's in the works. Also, another thing that we're trying to do is turf the high school fields. Green Hill, of course, was turf when it happened, but the other four are not. And that's a complex deal, but that naming rights for that would be a naming rights for a lifetime. We were willing as a county, haven't talked to my commission, so don't tell them that yet, but to put 1.3 million towards that. The school system put 1.3, and then have a donor put 1.3, which would turf all four fields, everything inside the track. And then once you do that, let's just say like Pilot did it in Knoxville and did all of their fields. If you had that company, let's say Vanderbilt Wilson decided to do it, not for any, I just asking. I just saw you over there. If they did that, then Vanderbilt would have their name there for the life of that school, because in 8 years, the school system would replenish the turf but leave the naming rights there. So we're looking for a sponsorship for doing that. You know, maybe it's Summit. Not Summit. Yeah, Vanderbilt Wilson. Excuse me. I see Scott back here. But that's two things there. Let me go to other questions.
So tell us the truth about LaGuardia and the water.
So LaGuardia and the water, it's a complex issue, but to be honest with you, the soils and the treatment facility for that school was pre-approved by TDEC before they bought the property, or they wouldn't have bought the property. Actually, having the good soils pushed that property to the top of the list to be bought. When they went to look when the Wilson County Water and Wastewater Authority, which is kind of the overseer of the sewer part, went to TDEC to apply for a permit. Adenis is the company that actually processes the sewer. They're the third-party provider. So they have a plant at Academy Road that you pump so in other words, the sewer comes out, sorry for this after lunch, but sewer comes out, the solids go in a tank, the water goes out to the treatment plant, it's treated, and then it's shipped back to the fill lines like at the school to be able to go back into the ground. So they had a violation out at Academy Road. And they hadn't fixed that violation. And so TDEC said, we're not going to issue this permit until you get that violation fixed. And so that's what's caused a little bit. It looks like, people say Wilson County, they think that's me. I don't have anything to do with the Wilson County Water and Wastewater Authority, no more than I have anything to do with Wilson County Motor Company. But it has our name. So there's no tax dollars that go there. But they are taking some heat. And of course, it also put heats back at us. And it also makes people think, well, you bought a school that can't even house a sewer. Not true. We have the permits for that. So once that issue is done, we'll be back to playing ball. Right now, they are approving a pumping hall to be able to do that until we get that issue fixed. But we're good to go. Open on August the 1st, ready to go for that. Other questions?
Oh, and I live off this road, but the widening of South Mount Juliet Road, what's that going to start?
Is that the one down below Central Pike coming in? It is on the docket, and if you'll call my office, I can give you exact date on when that is. I know they've done the environmental. I think they've got the right-of-way done. I think the design is done, but I'm not for sure where they're at there, but that is on the docket and is funded. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Stoplight on 109 at Double Log Cabin Road. I know it's temporary, but that's where we're letting schools to go on 109. And I see it's up, I don't know if it's working yet, but probably go in by school.
They said it will be open, it will be running by school time, so that is a good thing. And there'll be a couple of more added to that area as well. Other questions? Yes, sir.
Is the county involved at all with Cumberland University's plans to turf their fields?
We are not on that part. That being a private institution, we won't have any issue there. That's the old Lebanon High School field, but we'll not have any part of that. Yeah, just because it's private and every dollar I got is public is your money. Yes, sir. Anything else? Anybody? Yes, sir.
Do you have any other? Has there been any other news about the industrial park that was going to go in over down by Linwood? Worry about it anymore?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I think that is gone. They're actually looking at another site here, to my understanding of where they're going. Yes. Anything else? Y'all been good to me. So if you liked it, you can give Taryn a round of applause. And thanks for having me today.